All good things must come to an end. This cynical saying is true for many aspects of life and also many aspects of business. Thankfully, most of the time, in the workplace, it is not a good thing that is ending. Unfortunately, firing is a key part of management, and with this economy, people are getting laid off left and right. A promising career may be cut short by the fearsome axe, as success is the yin to firing's yang. My name is August Luhrs, and I'm a sophomore at Cathedral High School, currently taking the Business Communications class at EPCC. I'm here to show you the 3 things you need to consider in this difficult process: motivation, ethics, and methods. This trio of contemplation is a package that every person in a management position must mull over in at least one point of their career. First of all, why do you want to fire this person? Is it because he or she has failed to come to work on any time, any day since they have worked here? Or is it because they eat all the donuts in the copy room? Donuts are good, but if you have holes in your reasoning, then you're open to lawsuits. Many times, the decision is forced upon you by an order up above you in the hierarchical chain of command, but ultimately you are the one having to bring down the axe on one of your coworkers. If your company decides to lay off a certain number of people, and your branch is one of the ones affected, a heavy weight is put upon your shoulders. Do you fire the hard-working but extremely annoying guy? Or the woman who brings the bagels on Thursday but only makes an average amount of sales? Or perhaps even the older gentleman who has been with the company since its start but is falling behind due to technology? These are hard choices, but are regrettably up to you. Sometimes the reasons for letting someone go are obvious and unforgivable, clearing an easy path to retribution. If an employee blatantly breaks the rules of the company or of the police, then you don't have much of a choice. If they steal a stapler, you can have a nice chat with them, but if they assault a coworker, it's a different story. Speaking of coworkers, if there is a unanimous plea for someone's firing, you should probably check it out. If they all sign a petition to get Joe out of the office because he crunches ice really loudly all day, then you can compromise and please everyone. However, if there is validity to their claims, and if you can add to the fire with supporting evidence such as poor work habits, then sure, go ahead and let them go. If any employee's work habits are questionable, then question them personally. If they get to a point where it's worse when they do work than when they sit around in a cubicle all day and do nothing but Sudoku, then I would say it's time to bring out the axe. Another essential thing to consider is ethics. Are you sure you're really doing the right thing? I know it's hard these gray days in this black and white world, but we all have to strive for moral righteousness in the workplace. There are too many corrupt business people in the field today, but every person on the right path is one step towards a better business world. One problem you might have to face is favoritism. Your old high school buddy just moved into town and he's looking for a job. You happen to be looking for someone to fill Janet's old job since she's now a stay-at-home mom, but there have already been numerous qualified applicants. Do you favor an old friend, or do you keep it fair and employ one of the people who actually tried hard to get to the job? This is another great topic, so it's really up to you. I would advise putting your friend through the same application process and seeing how he fares compared to all the other sharks. Also, what do you do if one of your employees really gets on your nerves? Can you fire someone just because they always offer up cynical sarcasm in office meetings or because they annoy the heck out of you? The answer, unfortunately, is no. Of course, you can find enough little stuff to accumulate into a reason for dismissal, but not only does that take time and effort, it will take a toll on your conscience. If you fire that pest but next quarter realize that your department is behind on sales, you'll feel like an idiot. You might ask, what's the purpose of having ethics in business? I'll just say it's the same reason to have ethics anywhere. Sure, it's easier, faster, and pays better to be ruthless and conniving, but I think that it's more important to just be happy. That's just me, though, it seems. Another tough decision is when someone tells you you have something to do someone tells you you have to do something when you know of a better solution. For example, your boss tells you that since you have more sellers than any other branch, you're going to have to relocate some of them. You know the lives of your employees and realize a move for any one of them is going to be very difficult. Instead, you devise a plan. Instead of moving people, you could argue that more people is more money. You could either politely ask your stubborn boss to reconsider, or you sneakily go behind his or her back to do what you know will benefit the company more. What to do. Now we get down to business, the actual firing process. You have to tailor your tactics to meet the needs of the individual. Sure, there's a cookie-cutter outline for firing people. Sorry, it's just not working out for us. We're going to have to let you go. But that's so much like a breakup, it's scary. Instead, you should show a little empathy and take care of this person. If they've only worked for you for a few months or a year, then it'll be much easier. You can just briefly explain, and thankfully this is the least painful situation. On the other hand, when dealing with long-term employees, it's different. This takes much longer and must be well thought out. It can take quite a toll on you both. I don't think most people realize how hard it is for the actual firer to do this to someone. Maybe that's why they get Ice Queens or Dragon Men to do the deed. Anyway, a personal friend is extremely hard to fire, obviously. After years of hanging out, having barbecues with Bob, now you have to fire him just because there isn't enough room anymore. The upside of the situation is that you have your friendship to fall back on when the office relationship disappears. As for someone you have a less than pretty relationship with at the office, it can be tricky. If you word your words like you're a cop letting someone off with a warning, then it can cause a lot more hostility. At the worst case scenario, the person can use your animosity against you in a lawsuit, and those are never fun. There are certain personalities that will force you to tweak your speech. A cynical person necessitates positive reinforcement. An optimistic person needs less work. A worrisome person might need advice, reassurance, or just a hug. And finally, an angry person causes problems. You have to be careful where and when you fire an angry person. If they turn violent at the company picnic, kicking watermelons and punching balloons, then it can be a really bad deal. The most important thing to do when firing these people is just to make sure everyone, including the ex-employee, is safe. Make sure you control your emotions too, though. Keep your cool even if they lose theirs. And sensitivity is never good either. Make sure they think you care even if you don't. It will make all the difference in the world to them. Also, always stand firm. Never back down, even if they invoke your pity reflex, because as soon as you do, you've lost all your power you have over your employees' careers. Make sure when you're telling them they realize it's final. If need be, talk to them like children trying to get out of getting grounded. At the same time, do not make rash decisions. Firing someone during a yelling match is never professional nor smart. Retreat to your desk and really mull it over. If you still feel the same in a week or a month, then sure, do it. Well, I hope this helps you out, because there are certainly some things we need to change in the business world. Firing people is necessary, but doing it the right way isn't. It's just better for everyone involved. Thanks for your time.